Welcome to the Inner Alchemy for July the 1st, bringing us through to the 6th. Inner Alchemy follows the teachings of human design, the gene keys, and incorporates some tools of the more than existing Lightworker coach. As our mandala wheel is turning, we are finding ourselves entering through gate number 39 within Cancer season. Now, Cancer season is in the heart of the summer months for those in the Northern Hemisphere, and it's also a water sign. So you may be finding that there is an increased electrocurrent within you right now that is stimulating emotional energy. And emotional energy can either come in the form of excitement, it can be very flirtatious, it can want to get out there and kind of stimulate other people to get out and have some fun and to enjoy life. Or it also has another side to it that can be very emotionally reactive in its nature, and it can cause a lot of harm towards yourself and often unconsciously towards others. And what is happening is we are in the gate known as provocation, which really means to poke the bear or to poke the buttons. It is designed to stimulate our inner spirit, but it operates off of the pressure of stress. So when we are under a lot of stress, we are in the lower vibrating energies. We can become overwhelmed with feelings of feeling like we're trapped, feeling like we are suffocating under the pressure, feeling an emotional overwhelmed. And if you think of yourself in terms of a child, because we all have an inner child inside of ourselves, when we are backed into a corner or we feel discontent with life or just have a lot of things happening in our world that is emotional in nature, oftentimes that stimulates the animal tendencies within ourselves that wants to lash out. So in this case, provoking then becomes the means to know how to poke somebody else's buttons in order to stimulate an emotional response. And that could be triggering someone out of your feeling anger, so you want to lash back out at them. It can be through our thoughts, through our words, through a tone of voice that knows just the right thing to say to have somebody feel guilty or to feel ashamed or to get them to do what we want to do. And the more we bring this energy into our awareness, and we observe it within ourselves and we observe it within others around us, we can then call in the gift attributes through the teachings of the gene keys, which is known as dynamism. Literally think of that as a stick of dynamite. It is designed to look at all of those different energy blockages that we create through holding on to our emotional triggers, our patterns, our self-sabotages, anything that limits the flow of your natural life force energy. That becomes a block. So maybe you are somebody who really wants to say something and speak up for themselves or have boundaries, but you feel unable to do so. And if there's a story in your head that, well, if I say that, they're just going to be mad at me. That is literally placing yourself in a trap, in a cage, taking all ownership and responsibility away from yourself. We want to rise up into that higher awareness of knowing that we are each responsible for our own choices, actions, and behaviors. And by not projecting out to somebody else, but by really claiming that back and saying, okay, where is my fear story that tells me I'm not safe enough to speak a truth? Really examining those things for yourself and also being aware of the energy around you and observing how this comes out into play in others. So how do other people push your buttons? How do others get an emotional reaction from you? And most importantly, why are you reacting? Why are you believing in that? Why are you falling for that? And a lot of times it really comes back to the root issue of us that is under a lot of stress. We put ourselves under enormous pressure to show up in certain ways, to be a certain something. We're raised in a world that compares ourselves to another and tracks our progress in that way. When a child is left to naturally connect with their playful energy, and they have lots of time and space to explore the environment around them and ignite whatever they're interested in, we see their natural genius come to the forefront. And each and every one of us has an inner child within ourselves that is a natural genius. You may not have had the time and space necessary to really cultivate and harness what your creative gifts are, what your inspiration is, your soul's blueprint for humanity. Now, here's the catch to that. Regardless of your upbringing, all conditioning can be reversed. It takes time, it takes commitment, it takes the understanding that you are now here to be the parent to your inner child, to grow emotionally and spiritually, and to feed yourself the love and understanding and the space required in order to flourish. The easiest way to connect back to that is to start practicing breathing deeply. The more you pause to breathe, the more you fill up your body, the more you're inviting in life force energy. Allowing yourself the time and space to not be so reactive, but to rise up and to become aware of, well, what is happening around you? Why are you reacting emotionally to that trigger? Or why are you feeling tempted to push somebody else's buttons? So have some fun in this energy. I kind of see it as like one of those electric eels that's swimming around in the ocean. So it has all of these energetic currents to it. And it can either be very empowering in terms of sparking somebody else to push past their own blockages or to inspire them to get out there and have fun, or it can be really crackling in the heat of annoying somebody, hurting somebody, becoming very aggravated. So we're all going to feel this energy differently depending on your birth chart, depending on what you came here to really learn as your life lessons. So become the observer for yourself to see how you can connect very deeply with your breath this week. Notice what is provoking you. Get to the root issue of why it is provoking you, and use this as an opportunity to push back and open up any blockages to increase your life force energy. If you'd like to learn more about Cancer season or moving into human design and the gene keys, feel free to visit my website. The link is below, lovingenergyrecharge.com. Take care.